Welcome to Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Bill Littauer. Among the stories we'll be covering this week, the final okay for baseball lights at Harbor Island, with conditions being set.
Mamaroneck's village manager calling it quits. The search is on for a replacement.
Rhinex school superintendent speaks to our school news reporter, along with a new high school principal.
Summer jobs for young people are there for the taking.
A painting expert, the kind you want to hear from if you're fixing up the house.
A fire company block party, a blazing success. And would you believe another restaurant gets the taste test from our reviewer?
Those stories and more on Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News.
First, another chapter in the saga of the controversial lights for Lanza Field at Harbor Island took place last week at the Mamaroneck Village Board of Trustees open meeting. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Alice Bloom has the story on the guidelines that were approved for the use of the lights.
Once again, there was standing room only at the June 11th Mamaroneck Village Board meeting. Many in the crowd came to be part of volunteer recognition ceremonies, but many came to hear the final conditions set on the use of lights at Lanza Field. For a few moments, it looked as if that project was once again in jeopardy. Let's look at the tape.
From every different person that you talk to, and any governmental agency.
True, but we're here dealing with something, and the repercussions of
We're
staying.
stopping something.
No, well, maybe in your life, but if we stay with what we have, if we stay with an unlisted and a neg deck, and with the conditions, I'm not uncomfortable with that at all, because it's the same, it's what we had agreed on before. But I have now been told that there's a 30-day waiting period, and that's going to put off anything being done for the
Nobody voted on it.
Yes, I know. You know the problem with this board, and board members sitting here, all of us. You can't make a decision. You've done nothing for the past 6 weeks but fan the flame of the fire of discontent in this community.
Pending an okay from the engineers, the lights will go up. Here are the restrictions set by the Board of Trustees. The public address system is eliminated. This summer, the lights will operate 5 nights a week until 10:30 p.m. After September 15th until November 30th, the lights may operate 3 nights a week until 9 p.m. During the winter, December 1st till the end of March, there will be no lights. The month of April, the lights may operate 3 nights a week until 9 p.m. Next summer, May 1st until September 15th, lights may operate 5 nights, 2 nights until 10 p.m., 3 nights until 9 p.m. The only weekend use is limited to the summer months, and they will be for the Council of the Arts, which may operate until 10:30 p.m., but their use is limited to 4 weekend nights per summer. Any request for modifications of these restrictions will require a full draft environmental impact statement. Other items discussed on Monday night were roof repairs for Village Hall and the site for temporary leaf dumping next fall. We'll try to have more about those items next week. Back to you, Roger.
Thanks to Alice Bloom for the story, and unless there's a last-minute hitch, the lights over the baseball diamond at Harbor Island should be shining by mid or late July. Bill?
The village manager of Mamaroneck for the past 9 years is retiring. Joe Fraioli announced his resignation from the $70,000 a year job effective in early July. He'll remain on the village payroll until October, though, because of accrued vacation time. His replacement for the time being will be village clerk Leonard Verostro. The Village Board of Trustees is setting up a search committee to look for a permanent replacement for Fraioli. At last week's village board meeting, Joe Fraioli was praised for his hard work and dedication to the job of village manager. Prior to that position, he was village clerk. On a future program, we'll have an interview with the retiring Joe Fraioli.
Time for some school news notes from our Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News School News reporter, Monique Citron. Monique?
Mamaroneck High School Principal Thomas Titkin will assume a new position July 1st as Assistant to the Superintendent for Long-Range Planning. 3 areas specified in need of help by Superintendent Kolb are dealing with the increased enrollment in the elementary grades, educating an increasingly diverse population that sometimes includes more academically at risk and foreign-born students, and meeting increased reporting requirements for state programs. School Board member Nidra Gillette suggests some new programs may be action-oriented and hands-on exploration education rather than passive book learning. Titken's new salary of almost $91,000 is about what he would have earned as principal next year. A nationwide search for a new principal is going on right now. Earlier this week, I spoke with Dr. Frank Tassone of Rhinebeck High and Dr. Barbara Ferraro, the new principal of Rhinebeck High. It said in the paper that you wanted to make a difference here in Rhinebeck High. What does that mean to you?
Well, actually what that means is that I would like to energize the students here. I've taken a few walks around the school, I've taken a walk around the community, and I see that we have a lot of resources here in the community and in the school. I think that Rhinebeck is a wealth of resources, and I think that I can bring to the community some of my own ideas, and we can energize the students and the staff and the community. I would like to improve the instructional program. I firmly believe that it is through the instructional program that we increase the positive feeling about the schools, and we also make a difference in the lives of students.
Well, we really welcome you here to Rhinebeck and know that you can make a difference and are looking forward to your new year in September. Dr. Tassone, can you give us some highlights over this past year as we wind up?
Sure. This has been a very busy year in the Rhinebeck schools. One of the major projects, of course, has been the hiring of our new high school principal, Dr. Ferraro, and we certainly look toward her coming aboard on July 1 to begin work in our high school. So that's been a major goal of ours. We also have worked very hard at taking a very careful look at the way in which we finance our schools, and we did have a successful passing of the school budget, which was a major project for us. We are looking toward more and more grants, and we've just submitted, we're very excited about a recent grant that we've submitted, a student at risk grant with the State Education Department, and we're hoping to hear about that shortly. But that's all part, really, of what's necessary when we finance schools.
The location is what was once Cook's Restaurant. Coming soon to that same location, a Nathan's Restaurant. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News producer and sometimes reporter Rita Blockton has more on that. The outlook for summer jobs for any teens out there who are going to be around this summer. Rita?
Summer is upon us, and if you're looking for a summer job, there is great news. Nathan's is opening for sure on June 25th, and they have plenty of hourly positions available. Just go over and see Pat, the manager. Nancy Teffley over at the Youth Employment Service says that she still has some summer jobs left too. They're open from 9 to 12 till the middle of August, or you can call her at 698-2212. There are some office jobs and warehouse jobs, camp jobs, plenty of babysitting jobs, lawn mowing. Call to find out what else they have. If you happen to own a store or you can use summer office help, please call Nancy because there are a lot of students who are very anxious for these jobs.
The Larchmont Motel is still at the corner of the Post Road and Weaver, but soon may have an entirely different look. About a week ago, we asked Elaine Price of the Mamaroneck Town Council to fill us in.
You have selected a plan now. What will it be?
Okay, Housing Task Force unanimously decided the other night, and 4 out of 5 council members decided, along with the Affordable Housing Task Force, that we would go with the Bogdanoff proposal. That is 55 units of affordable housing, targeting certain number, maybe 10 units for low-income senior citizens. We will be sending out requests for proposals, and when the proposals come in and we see exactly what we're dealing with, we will know how to apply for the grant monies, and we've been very involved in creative financing to make this happen.
A firehouse block party, the big happening a week ago along Mamaroneck's Palmer Avenue. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Eileen Deutsch covered the event, the 100th anniversary of Mamaroneck's Engine and Hose Company #1. It's one of 5 fire companies in the village, chartered back in 1890 with 18 members. The all-volunteer company now has about 40 members.
From the dancer-sized locations to the bodybuilding spot, Lynn Bixler, our Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter who seems to be making the rounds of all these places, has the latest. It's called Caruso's.
I'm here today at Caruso's, located in the village of Mamaroneck. Caruso's is the only spa in our series that offers Nautilus and the ever-popular Stairmaster 4000. Tell us about some of the specific machines, what muscles they work.
Okay, the leg extension over here works the front quadricep, and we have the leg curl that works the hamstrings. This is the leg abduction, which works the inside of the hamstrings, and the outside also. You can swing that around and do 2 separate motions in there. Okay, and over here we have the chest machine, which is the double chest. You have a fly and a press. And we have the 2 arm machines, which is the tricep and the bicep. We have the lower back machine over there, and the abdominal machine. We have the back torso.
How does the abdominal machine work? What position are you in while you're doing the abdominal machine?
Well, you're in a crunching position. You're in seated, and you want to do is crunch down on your stomach.
And how many repetitions might somebody start with?
With stomach, with 15 to 20. And with the regular machines, the leg machines, anywhere from 12 to 15.
Thanks to Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Lynn Bixler for that report that one can build on. Are you looking to spruce your place up with a little paint? Our Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter on the housing scene is Deborah Doern, and she talked with someone to brush us up on the subject.
With Leon Barrett from Elite Painting in the Bronx. He does a lot of work in the Larchmont Mamaroneck area. I wondered with the market slowdown if he found a slowdown in his own business or whether it was geared more to home improvement as opposed to selling.
Well, what I found is that people are not improving their homes to sell them, or they're not doing no buying or selling. What they're doing is usually adding on to what they already have or just enhancing the beauty of what's already inside.
So maybe because the market slowed down, they've decided to stay put for a while.
Right, exactly.
Another thing, how often would you paint your house?
Well, usually average anywhere between 3 to 5 years. 5 years is a good time period, but there's certain areas of the house that's on the outside of the house. If it's exposed to different weather conditions, direct sunlight, or something off the water, you would want to try and do it maybe every 3 years or so, just so it doesn't get to the point where it's blistering and it's already damaged.
And you have, I guess you refinish and paint and stain decks also. Do you do that as frequently?
Yes, we do that. We do it on new homes as well as older homes. And the reason why we do it on new homes, even though the wood is already treated, weatherproof, you always want to add on something extra just to really protect the wood that's there, whether it's a clear varnish, a stain, or paint, or whatever it is, something to protect the wood.
You know what I've been curious about? You see so many homes, say 10 years ago or 20 years ago, put on aluminum siding. It gets tired looking. Can you paint aluminum siding?
Yes, aluminum siding can be painted. It would have to be primed with some sort of oil-based paint. But then after that, there's a special finish that you can put on that siding, the metal.
What about vinyl siding? Probably not, right?
Vinyl siding, I wouldn't suggest that, no.
It's the time of the year for the outdoor cafe-style restaurant, and there's a very popular one on the Post Road at the corner of Rich Bell Road in Mamaroneck. We twisted the arm of our reporter who covers such things to go and check out Essie's, a stone's throw from Mamaroneck High School. Sonny Goldberg came back with the details and a smile.
Hi, Sonny Goldberg from Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, standing here on the corner of Richbell and Boston Post Road.
Richbell.
Richbell and Boston Post Road with Sylvester
Karagias.
Right. The owner of Essie's Restaurant. Tell us a little bit, how long you been here?
Well, I've been here for 12 years. I started as a cheese store in here, and then I turned it to a restaurant as the time went by because I realized what the people need in here. And then I transferred that idea to White Plains, which is, I guess a lot of people must know, that's on Mamaroneck Avenue. And I feel very happy with what I have done. And as people appreciate the food that I serve, which we try to maintain.
Now, I know you have a lot of salads and wonderful foods for summer. Can you take out from here?
You can take out anything you want.
Make something for the boat?
Everything.
For a picnic?
Everything for the boat, for the picnic, for soccer games.
This is Sonny Goldberg saying, if you want to try any kind of special foods for the summer, you can take out, enjoy yourself, eat while you're here, take it outside, sit in the sun. Sylvester would love to see you. Come on down to Essie's Cafe on the corner of Richbell and Post Road.
Thanks to Sonny Goldberg for slaving through another visit to an area restaurant. She does indeed have the tough assignment on this program, but somebody's got to do it.
Good evening. I'm Mayor Paul Noto from the village of Mamaroneck, and I am responding to some comments made by an alleged news report on LMC News last week by Mrs. Alice Bloom. Since the lines between news and comment were blurred, I felt it appropriate to respond to some of the opinion that Mrs. Bloom offered during her report. The lights at Lanza Field, an important issue facing the community, has been a contentious one during these past 8 weeks. And I'd like to clear the record so that the community is aware of the fact that last year, in April of 1989, the Board of Trustees, in a unanimous and bipartisan fashion, approved the installation of lights at Lanza Field. Subsequent to that time, 4 public votes were taken at 4 separate public board meetings, at which time the Board of Trustees again unanimously and bipartisanly supported and approved the installation of lights at Lanza Field. Subsequent to that time, it appears that certain board members and opponents of the lights have raised some issues relative to the impact on the environment. I'm happy to say that even though the Board of Trustees did not agree with our engineering department's conclusion that this would have no impact on the environment, after an exhaustive process of evaluating all the potential impact on this project, we have agreed that it will move forward and that guidelines have been established to govern the utilization of the lights. I'm sorry to say that in some respects board members have acted in a dilatory and unreasonable fashion. However, at this point, I think we're in a position to move forward. The comment that, in fact, the proper procedures were not followed is not accurate. The procedures were followed to a T, and I think that this, as in the past and in the future, all projects will undergo considerable scrutiny so that we make sure we're doing what's best for the community. The lights will be an enhancement to the park, a proper diversion for young people so we can keep them away from the drugs and the other unwholesome diversions that exist, and we believe it will enhance the recreational viability of a park that has suffered for years from declining attendance. Thank you.
And that's it for another edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. Again, this reminder, this program is aired over this same channel every weekday night at 5:45 p.m. and around 9:45 or 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday. If you have some video from a local event you think could appear on this news program, isolate your best minute, write a few notes describing it, and bring it over to the LMC-TV studio in the Palmer Avenue unit of Mamaroneck High School.
We're here recording this program every Thursday night at 7. You can come over and watch us put the program together and see if it's the kind of fun activity you might like to get involved in. We'd love to see you. Thanks for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Bill Littauer. We'll see you again next week at the same time.